Hello, this is Mr. Miller. It's time for a very quick video. This is a short one. This is video number 58. It's about two-factor experiments where there are two factors we're manipulating to form the treatment groups. And this is to get us ready for class. Because of Christmas break and a couple cold days and some other things, it seems like we've been on gathering data for a long time. So we're going to wrap it up quickly this week. Okay, so this little diagram I kind of like here. We got a bunch of blue people. I don't know if that's what's wrong with them, but they're blue. And they're being randomly assigned to treatment groups. So this is kind of what an experiment is. We randomly assign people to treatments. Then we compare what happens to them. Looks like some of them turn half red. I don't know what's going on here. But after we do the experiment and apply the treatments, we compare and the response variable for the groups. All right, so that's the basic idea. Here we go. We're going to look at one example, and then we have another one for a journal assignment. Here, a softball player wanted to see how far he could hit two brands of softballs with two different bats. The two bats were both 34 inches long and weighed 34 ounces. And all the balls are new. A friend placed the balls in a pitching machine. The player did not know which brand of ball he was hitting. He did, of course, know the type of bat he was using for each trial. He hit 4 balls of each brand with each of the 2 bats. Wow, it's getting complicated. But basically, he has 2 different types of balls he's going to practice hitting, and he has 2 different bats he's going to use. So he and his friend measured the distance in feet he hit each ball. The results are shown below. Okay, so if we take a look at this table here below, we see that he had a wooden bat and an aluminum bat. So they were the same weight and same length, but the difference is how the bats were constructed. Okay, then he has 2 different types of balls he's using. So one is called the Dudley Thunder. Why? I have no idea. And the other one's called Worth Red Dot. Don't know what that is all about either, but those are 2 types of softballs he's hitting. Then these are the different feet. We're actually not going to talk about this part, but this were the measurements. They measured the response variable, which was how far the ball was hit, and these are the results. The number in parentheses just tells you when it was pitched. So this one that got hit with, it was a Dudley Thunder ball, this one right here. He hit with a wooden bat. He hit 250 feet, and that was the 12th pitch. Okay, wow. What are the factors and levels for this experiment? There are 2 factors. One is the type of bat. So the type of bat, and the 2 levels were wooden, and the other level is aluminum. Okay, then the other factor was the type of ball that was pitched to him. So one was the Dudley Thunder. So these are kind of levels, the different types of balls they had to use. And the other one was the Worth Red Dot. Now, we have 2 factors and 2 levels each. So that means that there are 4 treatment groups. So there are 2 times 2 equals 4 treatment groups. So group 1, or treatment 1, who will get treatment 1, would be the wood bat and the Dudley. Then group 2, their treatment would be the wood bat and the Worth Red Dot. I'm going to just abbreviate, WRD, Worth Red Dot, the other type of ball. Group 3 could be the wood bat, the aluminum bat, and the Dudley Thunder. And group 4 would be the aluminum bat and the Worth Red Dot, WRD, Worth Red Dot. Okay, so for the wood bat, we got 2 different types of softballs to use. And for the aluminum bat, we have 2 different types of softballs. So 2 times 2 is 4. Is there replication? Well, there are 4 pitches for each group. I gotta be honest, if I were this guy, and if this is a serious thing he has to consider, which bat and which softball to use, I'd probably do more than 4 pitches. So we're 4 per group, but I don't know. I would go for a little bit more if I really want a good opinion. Maybe what's wrong with taking a dozen pitches per type of bat and softball? Okay, it says what is the response variable and how it will be measured. So the distance the ball is hit. And of course, it's measured in feet. So this one was easy. That's the response variable. And that's what we'll be comparing for the different groups. And that's what they did here. Their next step was to make graphs and do some statistics on it. Now, sometimes this is hard to figure out. Is this experiment single blind, double blind, or neither? Because sometimes it's a little bit more complicated. This one was certainly not double blind because the person who was administering it, his friend who was loading the pitching machine, he knew which type of ball he was putting in, I believe, and it was clear whether it was a wood or aluminum bat. So it wasn't double blind. It was maybe partially single blind. It's not so clear cut. The player, he didn't know what softball he was hitting, but he certainly knew what bat he was using. So maybe it was partially single blind, but it certainly wasn't double blind. Okay, so if that seems like an incomplete answer, I'm kind of sorry, but we just got to kind of think about it. The best situation is when the person or the participant doesn't know what treatment group they were in, and the people giving the test don't know. That's when it's double blind, because that means there's no bias. Maybe this guy had heard that aluminum bat was better, and that might bias him somehow. But anyway, so the best is double blind. This experiment certainly wasn't double blind. And I don't know how they could have made it that way either. Here, it says draw a diagram for this experiment. So this is much like the diagram given in the book. And we see that there are 16 at-bats. So actually, I had a kind of hard time deciding what the participants or units were in this experiment, but they were at-bats. And then we would randomly assign each at-bat to a group. It's kind of the same way as randomly pick whether to use a wood bat or which softball to use. So there are 4 treatment groups like we laid out earlier. 2 with the wood bat using the 2 different balls, and 2 with the aluminum bat using the 2 different balls. So we had randomly assigned which pitch was going to be used. Okay, and then at the end, we would compare the different distances for these 4 treatment groups. Okay, so we'll get in the habit of writing diagrams like the one in the book. Okay, it's time for our journal assignment. So it says, how much popcorn is produced by generic popcorn as compared to a brand name? Does the type of popper make a difference? You are to compare the volume of popcorn produced by a generic and a brand name popcorn using both hot air and an oil popper. So we have 2 types of popcorn, a generic brand like Target brand or Walmart brand, and a brand name like Jiffy Pop. And we have 2 types of ways of popping it by using a hot air machine and an oil popper. So we have 2 factors, okay? The type of popper and the type of popcorn. So go ahead, answer these questions about this best we can. What are the factors and levels and treatments and things like that. And then draw a diagram like we drew on the 3rd slide for the experiment. Good luck. See you in class.